So the situation inside Indian prisons is very disturbing for a variety of reasons, including the lack of fundamental rights for prisoners and some well-known, if I can use that word, gangsters running their work and their business from within the jail premises, their criminal activities from within the jail premises.
So, according to me, prison is a different world altogether. The laws of the land don't operate in prisons. Fundamental rights are suspended in the prisons. And whenever a person is, condemned to go to the prison, he invariably ends up having a harrowing time for a large number of reasons. Now, the problems of a prison are manifold. Firstly, there are undertrials who definitely deserve to be released on bail after having suffered quite a large number of the sentence that they would undergo if they were supposed to be even convicted. But because of lack of legal help, they continue to languish. So there is overcrowding in prisons. There is overcrowding in prisons because judges are insensitive to granting bails, especially to undertrials. The law of the jurisprudence of any criminal jurisprudence always says bail is the rule and jail is the exception. Whereas in our country, mostly it is followed in the just the reverse. Now, when you enter the prison, the rights get suspended. So, according to me, the only way to control prison activity is to have firstly CCTV cameras in every portion of the prison and ensure that within the inmates there is no wrongdoing as far as inmates doing something to the other. The second thing which needs urgent reform is that there should be proper jammers in the prisons to ensure that no mobile would function at all. Even the jailer's mobile should not function. He should also be dependent only on the landline. Because it is very disturbing that people are running syndicates from prison and they are, having access to, they are deciding what crime is to be committed where, in which part of the globe, and they are controlling, the decision is made inside the prison. And the state, which can very easily control this, because the state has all the right to ensure that if the mobile phone does not enter, or even if it enters, if there are proper jammers in the prison to not let a mobile phone function, then obviously state can control everything. But unfortunately, this is one area where state has done nothing, or rather, there is no will of the state to do anything in this regard. This is one area where I feel the judiciary should step in and ensure that this is done. But without the active support of the state, probably the judiciary also will be helpless, because judiciary doesn't have its own mechanism. Judiciary also, when it passes an order, is dependent on the state to enforce its orders. Like the judiciary has provided for CCTV cameras in the police stations. But if you were to do a survey in the entire country, probably 99% police stations would not be having CCTV cameras in spite of binding decisions of the Supreme Court for such installation. And the police stations also are places where the complainants or the victims of crime are subjected to further harassment and to delayed the registration of FIRs, and all kinds of wrongdoings happen when the person goes to get a complaint registered with the police. So all this can only be possible if the state and the judiciary both work in sync and ensure that all these measures are implemented in the right earnest, and to ensure that the prisons are only meant for confinement and nothing else. It should not be. In fact, in the prison, every prisoner should get the opportunity to lead a normal life inside the prison. And as and when he gets released, the experience in the prison should not make him a worse off man, should make him a better off man. He should come out, whenever he comes out of the prison, he should be a better man by virtue of the activities that he's made to do, whether it be spiritual or whether it be labor, whether it be gardening, whether it be some vocational training. The prison should be a place where, while in captivity, your mental well-being and your physical well-being is taken care of, and you are not subjected to any further ill treatment at the hands of the jail authorities or at the hand of a co-prisoner. So I think prison is one area where this country needs a huge amount of reform, and that also reflects on the level of our civilization as far as how civilized are we in the Western world is also dependent on how well we keep our prisons. If you will recall, when the extradition matter of some fugitives takes place, foreign countries send their teams to see whether our prisons are good enough to send back a fugitive, because many a times even extradition is refused for the simple reason that the country in which the person is residing, the authorities there feel that the prisons in our country are not, properly being maintained to, satisfy their, anxiety as to whether the person who will be sent back to India will get a proper treatment in prison or not. So prison should be only an area where one is in captivity, rather than an area where apart from being in captivity, you are subjected to all kinds of excesses, or if you are in the powerful category, to get privileges which a prisoner otherwise should never get. So both are extremes in the prison. The people who don't have the authority or the money to buy themselves the privileges in the prison are treated like, I would say, not even like a normal human being. And the people who are having the privilege or the money or the access to authority are given VIP treatment. And case, of course, we know of Sukesh, who was in prison and who used to meet film stars and models inside the prison, and the kind of life that he led inside the prison. So it's really an area where I feel that a lot can be done and should be done if we want to show that this country is strictly governed by the rule of law.
Thank you, sir.